Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and it looks like the stream is finally working properly now. I'm so sorry for all the issues that were caused by the stream, but I guess we should just get back into the action now. Hopefully we didn't miss too much. We're looking at it now. It is a 1 versus 2, and has been clutched by Impaler. What a clutch to bring us back into the game. The action has already started, ladies and gentlemen. 4-1 in the favor of the terrorists. The underdogs are definitely putting up a fight. And I was not expecting this from Team My Revenge so early on in the game. I mean, I was expecting them to get a quick lead on the CT side because that is the advantageous side. But you never know. If you win the pistol round on the T side, you can just start steamrolling them. But it looks like it's an A push here. Impaler, he's gotten 3 kills. He's looking for the 4th. Oh, barely gets it. Doesn't get the 4K. But still, 3 kills are quite a few kills to be put under the belt. Havoc, last man standing, a 1 versus 3. He gets a kill. He's been shining with the P250, but that's not going to be enough as Charose takes him down. 5-1 in the favor of the terrorists. This could perhaps just be utter domination that we're seeing, but My Revenge, I know that they're a good team. I've personally played with the players. I know how good they are, and I know their coordination. And on the other hand, I'm not so familiar with the underdog, so let's see how they perform. A force, I wouldn't really say it's a force buy, but it's a shaky gun round coming in from the CT side. They have an AWP onto Roger. Probably dropped by the Fat Rat as he has only a FAMAS to his name. And on the other hand, the AK-47s are just a dime a dozen on the T side. They've got 5 AKs and as much utility as they could possibly need as the terrorists. Quite a slow round here, but judging by the terrorist positions, they're probably going towards the B side. They've got everybody there, not a single player for the lurk or the fake, nothing like that. Roger scoped in from market. He might be able to pick off a few players if they don't smoke off market or do anything. And the CTs, the way that they're playing right now, they're not going to be able to get the information early enough. They need to do some kind of pushes. They need to delay them with mollies, something like that. And it looks like the execute is about to happen. The Molotov is rolled out. And not going to be long before the CTs catch wind of this and start rotating. Scar, first one in. Roger missing the shot. He's going to miss 3 more ducks that he could have shot at. Havoc takes down Charose. And this was all Havoc's game. Gets 3 kills for himself and brings it down to a 2 versus 2, which should not be the case when one of your teammates gets a 3K as the players are entering the bomb site. But still, a doable situation for the CT side. The bomb has yet to go down. 25 seconds on the clock. They need to retrieve the bomb, and they need to plant it. Hamzes knows where the bomb is. He takes down Lucky, and this makes it nearly impossible for Impaler, as he has to get 2 kills and get the bomb down. Very difficult position here. Impaler walking into the market. Let's see if he can take down Zan. Gets his head, but he's not going to be able to find the second one. Hamzes, he's all the way back. They know that he can't get the bomb down, so they're just going to be chilling. They know they can back off. And that's a smart play by the CTs. The 3 kills from Havoc actually being put to use, and the CT side have gotten the round. And I'm so sorry, that wasn't your Facebook, guys. That was my Facebook. My bad. Let's get back into it. The 8th round is underway. A gun round from both of the sides, 2 SMGs on the CT side with only 1 SMG on the terrorist side, but there is a Galil on Scar, so I guess their weaponry is pretty evenly matched up. The CT side, though, I mean, with so little utility to work with, they've got 2 smokes, a couple of mollies. That's probably not going to be enough to hold the terrorists down if they go for a straight-up push, or especially if they try a fake. I mean, that's going to be a bigger problem because then you waste your utility. But judging by the terrorist positions, it looks like they're going for an A execute. The smokes are rolling out. Everything is rolling out now. Zan from the underpal's position. He could do a lot of damage here. He gets M. He's looking for more action. And wow, there is barely anything the terrorists could do there. Scar left all alone in a 1 versus 3. Oh, Zan, he just stuck to that underpal's position, and that's what worked out for him. He knew that he shouldn't move while his teammates are there to cover him. Because that's what happens. If you just stay in your position, they're going to wide peek you. They know that you're there. They're going to go for the pre-fire. They know exactly where you are. And if they don't have a Molotov or something, your teammates can capitalize on the fact that the player is trying to hunt you down. They turn their back on your teammates, and your teammates can help you out. But this kind of stuff needs coordination. You need to know exactly what angle your teammate is watching. But enough of the last round now. Round 9. 5-3 is the scoreline. The underdogs slowly losing their grip on the rounds. A 2-1-2 setup being played by the CT side. Not going to be ideal as the terrorists are about to charge in. The cavalry is simply moving in. The Fat Rat gets 1 kill. He has to make a lot of damage happen so his teammates can actually retake. And that's exactly what he's going to do. 4 kills on the board. It might be eco-frag, but still, he held his own. And that's going to be a quick cleanup. Sharose gets taken down by Roger. 5-4. The scoreline is inching closer to the equalizer. Going to be the last gun round for the T side before they're too poor to afford anything. They're going to have to go for a force buy or an eco in the next round. So this round is crucial. A push coming in from the CT side, and this is smart. They need to do plays like these. They need to catch the terrorists off guard. They know that the passive plays aren't working out for them. And it's a 1-1-3 setup right now. 3 players on bomb side A, 1 on mid, and 1 on B. Now they can just go back to playing a 2-1-2 setup because all they have to deal with are 3 players. Ideally, two terrorists can easily hold off against like 3 to 4 terrorists. Or at least put it in a good position for the retake. Lucky though, he's going to be there to bring the numbers closer. Just slowly try to take away that advantage. The CT side, having lost a player, now they have to make sure that they don't lose the advantage anymore. Barely any utility on the T side, as you can tell, a nade and a flashbang. The nade being used as well, so that just leaves them with a flashbang, which he should be saving if they want to rush in. Havoc, jump spotting, manages to take a little bit of HP off of Sharose, but it's not going to be much. Shouldn't really change the outcome of the round. Very healthy players on the CT side. They've got plenty of HP to work with, but Lucky is only 34 points of health. 2 versus 4 now. Shouldn't be long before we see this round come to its fruition. A 1-on-3. No bomb, no time, and that's going to be it. 5th round on the board for the CT side. No way that Sharose can physically reach the bomb anymore in time. Looks like the scoreline is tied up now. Like I said, there's no money on the terrorist side. They're going to have to force buy, which they are, I think. They've got an AK-47 on Sharose, and I'm not sure why they do that if everybody else isn't buying up as well. That is surprising. They just have 1 player with an AK-47. Unless they're playing Puff Puff Bass with the AK, I don't think it's going to work out for them. I mean, even in that case, it's just way too risky. That's going to set them back for the next round. Looking at the counter-terrorist positions, a 2-1-2 setup. One of the players actually rotating towards mid, and the T's are all focused on A. Zan, missing all of his shots, gets stabbed away by the Deagle. Lucky gets it. 5 versus 4 now. Oh, Sharose is going to be putting that AK-47 to good use. He's going to tell his teammates that he was definitely not just randomly buying, and he had a plan in mind. He probably didn't. Let's just admit it. 5-on-3, the CTs are in a very tough position. They have to retake up against terrorists that probably have salvaged some weapons. Sharose, he's still the only one with an AK-47 though, which is surprising. I was expecting them to have picked up some weapons, but that's not the case, and they barely have any HP to work with too. Sharose gets a 2nd kill, gets a 3rd kill. What a player! I think I'm going to take back what I just said if they manage to get this round. Lucky and Impaler, they're left alone in a 1 versus 2 with Havoc. He can kill them both in just 3 bullets. Oh, he didn't spot Impaler. What was that, Havoc? What are you doing? Bring your glasses, buddy! A single Deagle shot to end the life of Impaler. 6-5 is the scoreline, and underdogs, they get their lead back. They're going to be like, sit down, son. We're going to get it back. And we're finally moving into another gun round. 3 M4s of Famas on Zan, and another M4 actually on Roger, something that I didn't notice. I mean, these players, they love dropping each other. 5 AKs on the T side, definitely something, definitely a force to be reckoned with, but this push from the CT side is going to be deadly. Oh, Scar, what are you doing, man? You just got 2 kills up against players that just killed 2 of your teammates. Insane refragging ability being shown by Scar here. Amazing stuff. I mean, for a second there, that round had completely shifted in the favor of the CTs, but just that one player to shut down both of the players that got the kills. 6-5. The terrorists have to make sure that they keep their lead if they don't want to mess up the rest of the game. Judging by the terrorist positions, though, they're just waiting for one of their players to clear out B and then invite the rest of them to just move in. Oh, Havoc's going to be in a great position, though. Lucky gets taken down, and now they're stuck in a position where they have to get the bomb down. 45 seconds on the clock. They have to clear a bomb site. They have to get the bomb down. A lot of work to do, but I think 40 seconds should be enough. They only have 2 players to deal with. Scar needs to hold on to his life. He has to make sure that he doesn't die, but that's not going to be the case. Havoc takes him down all the way from short, and Zan's going to be there to kill the bomb planter as well. Scoreline's tied again, and this is an exciting match. Round 13, ladies and gentlemen. The CTs have plenty of money. They've got a Famas, they've got a picked up AK, 3 M4s, and on the other hand, the Ts, they're going to be working with just 2 AK-47s, and I think that AK-47 should be in the hands of Sharoz because he's been showing some incredible entry fragging ability, and he made it work when all they had was 1 AK-47, but I mean, I'm not going to question the abilities of the other players either. Everybody has been playing marvelously in this tournament. I mean, I suppose M is kind of struggling, but he's going to prove me wrong. What a 1D there. A 5-on-4. The CTs, arguably with better weaponry, they should be able to retake this. And the advantage has been taken away as well. Sharoz, luckily for him, doesn't get hit by the Molotov, and he's going to be able to capitalize off of it. That one Molotov in the firebox could have completely ruined the lives of the terrorists, but Sharoz, he's going to be there to take any opportunity that he gets. Impaler, he has to get the bomb down. They have to make sure that they win this round. This could potentially destroy the economy of the counter-terrorists. Roger on top of the ticket box. He managed to get a lot of HP off of Sharoz. Not something that I expected. And he goes down. The Fat Rat getting 1 kill. Can he make it the 1 versus 2 clutch? Yes, he will. The enemy is way too weak to fight back to the Fat Rat. Great stuff. And the CTs finally getting the lead. Team My Revenge, they're determined to put the underdogs in their place, but the underdogs are fighting back for sure. Looking at the economy here, since the CTs have won this round, they've got some money to work with. I mean, you can tell that their buy isn't exactly the best, and they've got some utility to work with, but it's not like they're going to need much because they're up against almost completely unarmored enemies that have upgraded pistols. But we saw what the terrorists were doing on mid with their deagles. Like, I mean, the deagles are always crazy in Pakistani tournaments for some reason. I don't know what it is. I mean, maybe our genetics just have really good aim or something, but that is how it is. Looking at the positioning here from the CT side, they've got a 2-1-2 setup. One player pushed up all the way on short, and it looks like Roger is going to be rotating towards market. I think they're a bit indecisive about where the players are going to go, so they're just second guessing themselves right now at this point. Quite a slow round here. The bomb is an underpass. I can't really read the minds of the terrorists, but I do feel like it is going to be an A split. Lucky walking out of Palace gets taken down by Zan, and that is going to be the connector and A split. M slowly moving in with the bomb towards connector. Scar missing his shots. Oh, the bomb has been dropped. Not a chance for the terrorists as they had nothing to fight back with. 8-6 is the scoreline, and ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be seeing the end of the first half very, very soon, but before that, we're going to get to see a gun round. Round 15, boys. Let's go. 5 AKs on the T side. A 2-1-2 setup from the CT side, and you can already see the weaponry that they've got. Awesome stuff. And this is going to be a round that we have to watch. A very fast push coming in from the terrorists. Everybody moving in towards B. And just a few smokes to work with. Havoc goes down. Scar. Wow. 2 lives being taken by the terrorists already. 3 versus 4. Scar showing a lot of aggression here. Hamza's going down. And this is pretty much a cleanup from the terrorists. This is going to be a very difficult retake to make. Oh, Roger, I don't think he spotted the fact that there was a terrorist in the smoke. Very unfortunate for Scar, though, as now this is suddenly a doable situation for the CTs. Roger getting a shot through the box. But I feel like the CTs are way too low to make any damage happen. Impaler is going to be the last one to put a shot in a CT head. 8-7 is the scoreline, and that is the closest scoreline we could possibly see, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. I want to see an exciting second half as well. I don't want it to be a steamroll, but honestly, I'm expecting things to just switch up as soon as it gets to the second half. I feel like the underdogs are slightly favored now because the CT side is generally more favored. Is generally more favored on a map like Mirage. Looking at the pistol round, though, they're putting a lot of faith in one player on A. They've sent Impaler to play from CT, so they're just playing a retake strategy. A very common strategy indeed. And for good reason, because a lot of terrorists, a lot of teams like to rush B because it's simply a lot easier to storm bombsite B than it is to storm A. And it looks like the execute's happening now. M takes down the Fat Rat. It's a 5-on-4, being brought down to a 4-on-4, and now the action is just insane. The numbers stay equal as the gunfights are exchanged. Shero's first one in, and first one to get taken down. The retake is not looking easy. Scar loses his life as well as Havoc takes him down. 1 versus 3. Can Impaler make it happen? He does have a USP to work with, and it is a pistol round, so it's definitely doable. Missing the first shot, that's also going to be the gates of opportunity closed on his face. 9-7 in the favor of Team My Revenge. Looking at the second round now, 9-7 is the scoreline. Team My Revenge, they've gotten the lead that they wanted. And with the pistol round comes a few more rounds as well. It's not just a pistol round. That's why it's the most important round in CSGO. We're seeing another B push, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like they're quite confident about what they do on B. Hamzas takes down M. The terrorists have the advantage. This is pretty much looking like an impossible retake. No armor on Impaler, and unless the terrorists do something incredibly dumb, the CTs have no opportunity of actually taking this round. Alright, boys, I feel so sorry for everybody's eardrums that just had to hear me yelling. So I've just adjusted the volume a little bit. I was hearing a few complaints about the volume. Hopefully that stuff is sorted out. You can hear everything properly. You can hear the gunfights. You can hear me. All of that good stuff. And there's just a tiny bug here that's that kind of just pops up here and there. That's why we have some audio issues, but hopefully that doesn't really affect your viewing experience, or at least it won't anymore. Well, there's the unpause. I guess it was a technical timeout because one of the players had disconnected, and he is back. And there's a computer issue. Look at these beautiful knives. Vanilla. 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 You all are so poor. Alright, you know what? I have a default knife as well, so I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm just gonna focus on this player because he has a pretty knife. To all the people that are gonna make the frag clips, make sure you focus on Scar because frag clips look hella dope when you've got a knife. This is a pay-to-win game, okay? Or at least a pay-to-get fame game. Alright, we're back with the action. The score line is 10-7 in the favor of Team My Revenge. No money on the CT side. Plenty of money on the T side. They've got 3 AK-47s and a couple SMGs to work with. Plenty of utility out of the wazoo as well. A single flashbang on Charo. So I'm guessing they were going for a push, or they were waiting for the flashes to roll in and then just do a counter flash. But that did not work out for them. They had an A stack. And they got punished for it because of terrorists. They all slowly creeped into mid. I guess they were expecting a stack. And the best way to counter a stack that you expect is to just get mid control or just sneak in to mid. There's so few close angles that you can hold if the enemy team is just trying to conquer mid. A 4-on-2 Sharos and Impaler. They've managed to pick up a couple weapons. Well, not a couple weapons, just a single P90. But still, Sharos has armor. He's got a CZ75. There is no reason to throw it away. Especially since they're on the CT side. They don't even need to buy head armor since they're up against AK-47s. Sharos' position has been given away. Not going to be long before he gets hunted down. And that's going to be the case. And that's what happens when you don't buy armor, kids. When you don't buy head armor, at least. Don't drive a motorcycle without a helmet, and don't play CSGO without one either. That should be the rule of thumb. Terrorists out there risking their lives for $350. Well, let's focus on the game now. A fast push coming in from the terrorist. Roger goes through the smoke, and he tags Impaler down. That could be the last nail in his coffin, that nade. But that is not going to be the case. I'm so surprised by the fact that he survived that nading. And he's going to be able to capitalize off of his life as well. The Fat Rad, though, he's been going insane. He gets a couple kills, but he's going to overextend. Still a 3 versus 2 for the terrorist side. M and Sharos, this retake is looking like it's not in the realm of possibility. M's going to look away before he spots the head of a player that was about to peek him. The AWP being salvaged by Hamza's. That's going to be another round in the bag for Team My Revenge, and they're looking like completely different beasts on the terrorist side, but we've only seen one gun round so far, so it's way too early to call the shots. Round 20. A gun round again. 2 FAMASs on the CT side along with an SMG and not much utility to work with, and that's because they really haven't been doing much in the second half. They've already lost 4 rounds in a row. And now the terrorists are going for a different play. They're not rushing in because they know that the CTs are expecting pushes. They've been doing pushes so far that I'm not sure if they had even a single round on the T side so far where they didn't just push in wildly. Mid control being established by the terrorists. Not much that the CTs can do to break it at this point. They're just going to have to make sure that the terrorists don't enter the bomb site. Impaler punishing Hamzas for trying to show way too much aggression on A. If you're playing Palace, I think the general rule of thumb is if you've missed the first few shots, you should just back off because there are so many angles that you're exposed from. Especially that nook that you can hide in on Palace. It's just so hard for an entry fragger to come out of Palace if there's a player there. He can get peeked from 2 different angles. So one thing I like to do is just I quickly peek that nook first. But getting back into the round though, Sharoz, he was in a really good position and he managed to get a player off, and he did a little bit of damage to Havoc as well. A 4-on-3. Zan, being the lurker, he's going to be in the perfect position to cut off Lucky, but he looks away at the worst timing possible. Flashbang rolls out. He's going to be able to get Lucky now. A 1 versus 3. Is he going to be able to hold off the bomb? Not a chance in the world because Scar is already on the defuse. He has to kill 3 players and make it all the way there. That's a physical impossibility, and it's not going to work out for him. Not sure why he'd peek after that because there was no way he was going to win the round, and might as well save the AK-47 rather than try to go for a cocky play where you do a little bit of damage for basically no return. Now we're finally seeing an AWP on the CT side. That's going to make things a lot easier to hold, as the terrorists are going to have to second guess themselves before they enter a bomb site. They're going to have to make sure they clear out every angle, every corner, and a single mistake could mean that their shoulder gets ripped off by a .50 cal bullet, if that's the one using an AWP. But lots of mid control here from the T side. Roger's already gotten a single kill, and they're slowly moving into the bomb site. The Fat Rad gets a kill. A very fast-paced round indeed, as Fat Rad gets a second kill for himself. Bomb site B control has been established, but look at the bomb. It's all the way back on mid, and they're probably yelling at each other on TeamSpeak right now. Like, what are you doing? Where's the bomb? Why didn't you get it? But the teams are quite evenly matched right now. Almost equal HP, equal numbers, pretty much equal weaponry. Impaler might be able to do something on long range with the AWP though. Havoc almost got caught by Impaler there. That would have been quite unlucky. And that failed Molotov pretty much means that Havoc can run away unscathed. Impaler, he could have gotten a lot of damage on here if he just did not miss the Molotov. Not sure if he was even intending to hit the van. Perhaps he was trying to clear out behind the bomb site. And now he's holding from the door. Quite a slow round all of a sudden. Not something that I was expecting, but I guess the terrorists did buy themselves the time that they needed to get the bomb back. Impaler, though, he rips the head of Havoc off. And that means that the Fat Rat has to make something happen very, very quickly. He's all the way on bench. He gets the first kill. Is he going to get taken down by Impaler, though, as he moves in? Yes, he will. What a play there by Impaler. Single-handedly winning the round for his team. And it is 12-9 now. The underdogs are slowly inching back into it. They know that they have the potential that it takes to beat Team My Revenge. Looking at the buys here. A bit of a forced buy from the T side. And on the other hand, the CTs, they know that they've got all the weaponry that they can need. And for some reason, the terrorists, they just love taking mid control on this map. They keep going mid. They keep establishing control, but they're not able to close out rounds anymore. They've lost 2 rounds in a row. Let's see if this is going to be a third. It's a 3 versus 4, so still definitely doable. The Fat Rat and Zan, they both have rifles to work with. If Havoc can salvage a rifle as well, this would be a very, very close round. I mean, a single player isn't much of an advantage if your players know how to play their cards right. Zan going for that boost. Oh, he almost got off lucky, but that's not going to be the case as he gets unlucky. And just because the Fat Rat missed that shot, wait, or was it Zan? Just because that boost was missed, it didn't work out for them. They lost a life to Lucky, and that's going to be the end of the round. 12-10 is the scoreline, and we're 2 rounds away from seeing a tie. Very unfortunate indeed. They could have done so much off of that boost. Just taking out Lucky from the game would have meant that they could have won the round easily because they just had one more player to deal with who was waiting in bench. They could have stormed him. A very fast mid push coming in from the CT side. What was this play from Sharose? He gets a headshot, and with the help of Lucky, he manages to get a shot onto the other player as well. That is a 4 versus 3. 3 AKs on the T side, 4 rifles on the CT side. At least the terrorists can be happy that they've taken the AWP out of Impaler's hands because he's been playing really well with it. In fact, he's top fragging right now and has a KDR of almost 2. The terrorists are slowly inching towards bomb site A. They do have plenty of time to work with, a minute on the clock. But it looks like they're already sending Hamzas to try to get some control. He's already sneaked all the way to Tetris. The CTs, they don't have much attention on A. They've got 2 players on B, 1 player playing mid. Probably watching the cross though. And Scar is hanging all the way back in CT. They're not going to peek until they hear the bomb taking down, or they hear a few flashbangs or a smoke, something like that. Oh, the terrorists are playing this very smart. They sneak all the way in. They don't even give Lucky a chance to react to Sound, who has picked up an AWP at this point. The failed flash from the T side could have completely changed around for them. Scar takes down Zan, and Hamzas with the lineup. M gets taken down along with the life of Scar. And it is a 2 versus 2 now. Sharose and Lucky have to try to go for the retake. That nade is going to be deadly as Havoc explodes Lucky. And this is looking next to undoable for Sharose as he barely has any HP to work with. He has to deal with a crossfire, and he gets picked off by Havoc. 2 kills for Havoc, 3 for Hamzas, and they just carry the round for their team. And I think they're getting their horses running again. They've got 13 points. They're trying to deny the tie. And for everybody that is tuning in late, ladies and gentlemen, these are the Islamabad qualifiers for Gamebird, and they are being played on LAN. This is a best of 3. This is the first map in the series. The map is Mirage. And it looks like we're seeing a fast play from the terrorist side because they know that there isn't much of an economy built up on the CT side. They're going to be rushing in, and they can expect to fight 3 CTs if they move in. Almost no actual man damage being done, except that kill onto Roger. Oh, what a shot there by Lucky, making good use of that USB's very, very long range. I mean, I think some people don't know this, but the USB is deadly accurate. You can run around with it while shooting, and it can pretty much outduel an AK-47 at long range. That's how good the accuracy is. Looking at the play here from the T side, very, very fast aggression on bomb site A. They just shut down the CTs like it didn't matter. They made it look so easy. And the rounds have gone by like nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, we might be seeing 15-10. I was a bit confused about the scoreline there for a second. 2 versus 2. The retake is definitely possible as Lucky and M have more HP than the enemies that they're facing. Lucky is left alone in a 1 versus 1. Hamza's, though, he's backing off, and I'm not sure why he is. Oh, this is a bad play by Hamza. He went all the way around, tried to go to Palace, but Lucky. Wait, did he not have a defuse kit? I didn't even notice that he didn't have a defuse kit. Surprisingly, Hamza runs away with the round. For a second there, I thought he might have a defuse kit because he did go under Palace and he picked something up. Holding defuse did not help him out there, and perhaps if he had just stuck the defuse earlier, this would have worked out for him because there were very few seconds left on the clock. 15-10 is the scoreline in the favor of Team My Revenge. Let's see if this game can be closed out early and we can see map number 2. 5 SMGs on the CT side, so they're definitely desperate for money. Round 26. Lots of attention here by the T side on B, while the CTs are playing a 3-1-2, a 3-1-1 setup. They've got one player all the way on short, focusing on mid, while the rest of them are just on A. And now the terrorists are moving in. Lucky is in a great position to do a lot of damage, but he is flashed out of his mind. The Fat Rat takes him down. It is a 4-on-4. Let's see what M can do with so little HP to work with. Scar gets a headshot. Very long-range headshot, actually. I'm not sure if the T's are going to be able to hold on to this because look at how well the CTs are playing with their SMGs, and just like that, the CTs have clinched it. You really got to hand it to them for making their SMGs work. They all had a kill each. Everybody on the CT side, they contributed equally. They all had a kill. They shut down the team like a team. And we're looking at round number 27 now. 15-11 is the scoreline. The buy is not so good on the T side. If you look at their money, it's just coming crashing down for them. Their economy is way too bad. If they lose this round, they're going to have to go for an eco. Looking at the action here from Impaler, he's taking down the Fat Rat, so he's going to turn a disadvantageous situation to an even worse one. He got his head spotted by Roger for a second, but he wasn't able to see him long enough to be able to fire off a shot. I'm not even sure if he popped up on his screen, on Roger's screen. Perhaps he just heard him and he looked to the left because the player did fire off a shot. 5-on-4, the terrorists, like I said, on the disadvantage. Hamza has given away his position by scoping in with the AWP constantly. Well, Roger, he sneaked all the way into jungle. This could be the play of the game. Roger is all the way in jungle. He gets... Oh, that was so unlucky. Scar turns around in the worst timing possible and takes down Roger. It all comes down to a 1 versus 3. Hamzis, no HP to work with. He's got an AK in hand. He spots Scar. He takes one down. Can he get the 1 versus 2 to end the game? Oh, another headshot. Could he hand it? Not going to be the case as M is there to put a bullet in his head. 15-12 is the scoreline. And we're 3 rounds away from the tie. And could this be another overtime in the tournament? I mean, we've only seen 2 games this far. 2 best of 3s, and we might already be looking at a second overtime. This is exciting stuff, ladies and gentlemen. And for everybody that is tuning in late, it's My Revenge versus the Underdogs. And if the Underdogs can win 3 more rounds, this is going to go to overtime. A bit of early aggression being showed by Scar here to try to mitigate the mid push. Oh, this is going to be deadly. There is nothing that the terrorists could have done there. 17 seconds to end the round. When you've got no weaponry to work with and you're up against these up against all rifles, the round is probably not going to last more than 20 seconds unless you really want it to. Judging looking at the buys here, we've got all rifles on the T side. Everybody has an AK-47, and on the other hand, the CTs have all rifles as well. They've just got one AK-47 in the hands of Lucky, and everybody else has the M4A4. So this is going to be an interesting gun round. This is pretty much as equal as it gets. I suppose the Ts have a bit more utility, but that's because the CTs have used some of theirs already to hold off the early aggression. A 2-1-2 setup being played by the CTs, and I'm not sure what this issue is. Let me just check up on it. Whoop! There's the dreaded map switch. That means that Team My Revenge won, and who? God, I don't even want to talk about this. Okay, everybody that watches CS:GO knows this bug at this point. The Go TV doesn't show the entire game if the match just ends way too early. Like, it switches to the next map on the Go TV before the scoreline is actually over. And while we're waiting for the rest of the players, to join the second map, I'm just going to be taking a short break while you enjoy this beautiful fountain.
from the dead.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're all invited to go fucking mental on this motherfucking drop. The countdown has just begun. Are you ready? Let's go.
So we're back from the dead. We're back from the dead.
Hell yeah.
We're back from the dead.
Are you ready? Let's go. Back from the dead.
We're back from the dead.
Hell yeah.
Hey yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? We're back again with the second game, with the second map of the second game for the day. And for everybody that didn't watch the first map, these are the Islamabad Gamebird qualifiers for CSGO, and they are being hosted in Islamabad right now. Obviously, why did I just say that was so redundant? These are being played on LAN. Everybody's got 5 ping. This is the optimal setup. And we're watching a match between Team My Revenge, formerly known as F5 Esports, and the Underdogs. The second map we're looking at is Inferno. The first map was Mirage, and it ended spectacularly at 16-12 with the GoTV. Just, I don't even know what to say about it, honestly. But let's focus on this map now. We're looking at the pistol round. The Underdogs are starting on the T side, while Team My Revenge, they're going to be starting on the CT side. A single player being sent to B. Surprisingly, that is not something that I expect from the CT side at all. They just sent one player there. I guess they're going to be capitalizing on the retake. That is how a lot of teams played. I mean, they just sent everybody all the way to another bomb site, but that's something that's common on Mirage. I haven't really seen this much on Inferno, but perhaps the meta's changed. 2 players already moving into bomb site B. Roger has not spotted them as there was a smoke up. Hamza's winning the gun duels here all the way in pit. He's gotten 2 kills for himself, and the Fat Rat is going to be making quick work of Lucky as well. Really good stuff from the CT side, and the T's have lost bomb control. Looks like the strategy actually worked out for the CT side. They were expecting something like this. They were expecting some kind of fake or some kind of split. And this should be next to impossible for the T's to get control of. So many angles to check. 2 players on bomb site. And 1 in library that is tapping away at a distance. 48 points of health left on M. Havoc's not going to notice that there's a player to his right, but that's not going to matter as he takes him down. Brings it down to a 1-on-3. M has to try to clutch it out for his team. He gets 1 shot. Can he get the second? Zan doesn't even get a chance to be part of the action. He just stays in there like a good little boy with his kit and his P2000. 1-0 in the favor of Team My Revenge, and they've really stepped up like late game. They were playing a lot better late game as opposed to the very early rounds where they were actually getting dominated by the underdogs. And I want to see if that kind of momentum carries forward into this game. 5 upgraded pistols on the T side, lots of head armor as well. Just Sheros that doesn't have it, and a few flashbangs as well. Mid control has been established by the terrorists. But the smoke is up, and they have to wait for it to expire before they can move in. Well, not like it's going to matter to them as they just run in willy-nilly. The Fat Rat, though, going for the spray down. Gets a couple kills with the FAMAS, and Zan is there to back him up. M gets taken down. And it's all down to a 2 versus 5. Scar and Cheros. Oh, look at that. You can see the little gun barrel. How cute. The Fat Rat getting a 3rd kill for himself. And with Hamza's P90, that's going to be end of it. 2-0 is the scoreline, and I just can't wait to see a gun round. The bomb was never planted, so we're seeing a 3rd round eco. I mean, normally if the bomb has been planted in the 1st round, teams usually go for a 2nd round eco because they can buy up on the 3rd round. They're going to have plenty of money because of that $300 bonus to everybody. This should be pretty much a steamroll here. Oh, 2 players being killed by the Molotov of Hamza's. And he's just going to be using his P90 to end the last one. I think that was the last shot that killed him. Not sure, though. Really good stuff here by the counter-terrorists, but I want to see what they're capable of on the gun rounds. They're not opting to upgrade their weaponry, which might be a bad choice. But still, they've got plenty of utility to work with, and Inferno has a lot of close angles, which makes the SMGs a lot deadlier than other maps. I mean, you've got Banana, where everything is so cramped up. I mean, it was even more cramped up in the previous Inferno, but now it's a bit more workable. Roger already losing his life to a perfectly timed Molotov, or perfectly placed rather. 5-on-4, the CTs are already struggling, and that's perhaps the reason. Perhaps the reason for this is the fact that they had SMGs. I mean, you just saw how he lost that gun duel, and there goes Hamzas as well on the rotation, not able to quite get back home. Gets taken apart by M. The terrorists are now moving in. Zan is jump spotting, trying to spot something through the smoke. Not gonna happen though. He is quite close, and this round is suddenly in the realm of impossibility. And I know that's not how the saying goes. I just made it up on the fly. Oh, that Molotov, is it touching M? Is it close to him? I think at this point the best thing that the CTs can do is back off, but they've got so much money saved up because they didn't buy up. They're probably gonna upgrade anyway, so it's a good idea to try to get some damage done. And that's exactly what they're gonna do. Havoc sitting on the defuse. Oh, what's that? Impaler? That could have been a very big mess up. Not gonna be the case though. Impaler, he stopped, he breathed for a second, and then he fired. Going for the War Owl technique minus the AWP. The stop, scope, flick, and fire. Well, we're looking at the 5th round now. It is a full gun round. 5 AKs on the T side, 4 rifles and an AWP on the CT side, and I want to see how the dynamic shifts because of the AWP being brought into play. The terrorists have gotten a bit of control of Banana, but not quite. We've got Roger and Hamza still waiting there. They're going to be abandoning the sandbag. Other than that, a pretty slow round coming in. 4 of the terrorists actually on mid and Banana. Well, one of the terrorists just lurks around in apartments. Perhaps he's waiting for some kind of push, or he's trying to get some early aggression. The CTs are playing a 3 and 2 setup. Mid has been abandoned, so the terrorists can just walk in if they please, as they please. Banana control slowly being established, and now they've got full control of it. The counter-terrorists, they're not rotating anything just yet, and it looks like that might actually work out for them. The terrorists are quite indecisive about what they're going to do. The bomb went back there for a second, and now it's moving all the way back up to Banana. And there's the execute. The flashes and the mollies rolling in. Roger needs to hit his first shot. Barely gets Scar, who has 7 HP now. M gets the opening kill along with Lucky and Scar. They've got... That just ended very, very quickly for the counter-terrorists, and that is surprising to me because I thought they'd just catch the bait, they'd go for the rotation early on, and they'd shut down the terrorists, and that things could have been completely different if they just had one extra player on bomb site B, just a different angle to play from. As you can look at their HPs, M, Sharoz, and Scar, they could have been taken down by a single player. Perhaps that round would have gone completely differently had they had one extra player on B, or gone for the early rotation. Looking at the 6th round, still a gun round, but Zan is the only one that is stuck with an SMG. Very unlucky dude indeed. Everybody has Kevlar, everybody has utility that they need. And the terrorists, they've got gotten the first 2 gun rounds. The flashbang not really doing much here as Scar managed to take down Roger, who just hit him in the face with a flashbang. Otherwise a very slow round. Banana control, just like the previous round, has been established by the terrorists. They're taking the bomb slowly towards B. And it doesn't look like the CTs plan on rotating anytime soon. It feels like the rotations on the CT side are quite slow, but perhaps that's because they're expecting some kind of... maybe they're just expecting fakes and all of that. Looks like the terrorists are finally executing B. They're rushing in, checking every angle that they can. Hamzas goes down and, well, it looks like that one player on the T side actually managed to draw enough attention for the CTs to rotate towards A. Havoc, last man standing, and not a single player has gone down on the T side. Looks like the CT side has called a pause. Team My Revenge, they probably need to discuss their strategy, see what's going wrong, and this would be a good time to do it because the next one is going to be an eco or a force buy based on what their preference is. So while the pause goes on, I'll be taking a short break. And meanwhile, you can just watch these players circling or doing whatever they do in the freeze time. Looks like the unpause has been called. Both teams back in action. They still have an M4 in the hands of Havoc on the CT side, but that's just because he managed to save it. Lots of nades from the CT side, and they will be shoving them down the throats of the teams, but they're not eating. Plenty of early damage being done, and that's going to be a very quick round. 20 seconds, as the game says. Looking at the buys here, we're looking at a gun round finally. 5 AKs on the T side, 5 rifles on the CT side as well, but not as much utility as the Ts have. And this time the CTs want to counter the aggression that they've been seeing on B, and this is a good idea because if you're playing the CT side, you just can't let the terrorists get any control of Banana. That is one of the easiest ways to lose the game, and what was that by the Fat Rat? He just lost almost all of his HP. Just standing in the Molotov thrown by his enemy. Not sure exactly what was going through his head, but perhaps he didn't notice there for a second. Suddenly a slow round as the terrorists, they don't have the bomb anymore. They're probably expecting the CTs to have taken control of it. But because of the fact that the Fat Rat had lost all of his HP, he has backed off. He knows that he can just get naded or mollied out of position. So he's going to let them comfortably take the bomb back. And that leaves them with 40 seconds to make an execute happen. Looking at the movement from the terrorists, I wouldn't be surprised if they went B while sending a fake onto A. Lucky making a lot of noise on mid. They're trying to bait out a rotation, and that sort of happens for a second as Hams just went halfway to A and then he starts to back off as they probably heard a sound, and now the execute is about to happen. The action, the rush, everything unfolds now. The Fat Rat playing from construction. He takes down Lucky with just 4 points of health, surprisingly still managing to get a lot of damage. For a second there, I thought that Molotov would have just completely changed the outcome of the round. But it's just going to leave Impaler in a 1 versus 3 who is able to do nothing.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
Round 9, ladies and gentlemen. 4-4 is the scoreline. It is tied up, and now the underdogs and Team My Revenge, they're really giving each other a run for their money. For the underdogs, they need to win this so they can take it to map 3. And on the other hand, Team My Revenge, if they win this, they can go home, go to bed, and do whatever they want. In my opinion, based on how I've seen the teams play, my prediction would be a 2-0 from My Revenge, but I would honestly be happy for the underdogs if they can make an upset happen or at least get a single map off of My Revenge. But it looks like we're just going to have to watch the game and wait and find out to see what's up. Looking at the positioning here, they're playing the CTs. They've got 2 players in pit, surprisingly, not a very common setup, while they've got 1 player in arches, who is obviously the rotational player. And on the other hand, they've got 2 players on B, 1 playing from construction, 1 playing from the bomb site. Roger ready with the pop flash just in case the enemies start moving in. M slowly showing some aggression. He's pre-firing every angle. He's looking at every nook and cranny as he moves in, but he is going to be the lurker that tries to fake. And now this is bad news for the terrorist side, because the terrorists just sent 1 player on B, and now the CTs are going to know that it's a fake simply because there was just 1 player there. And now they can focus all of their attention towards A. Scar gets the opening kill, takes down Hamzas as well, surprisingly, even though he was in such a bad position, just flying because he was on the top of the fence. Zan bringing the round closer for his team, but he gets taken down eventually by Sharose, who is left in a 1 versus 2, 22 points of health, and he has to deal with 2 perfectly, well, not perfectly, quite healthy CTs. They've got 58 and 71 points of health on the Fat Rat and Roger respectively, and it's not long before he's taken down. 5-4 is the scoreline in the favor of the CT side. Shouldn't be long before they just defuse and actually bring it up on the board.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists.
Round 10, boys. We're seeing an AWP on the T side, and I'm really interested in seeing how that would change the gameplay on this map. The AWP is actually a lot more useful for the CT side because banana control becomes a piece of cake if you can just have the green goblin to watch with its scope. It just becomes way too easy to pick off players that are about to enter, and looks like the terrorists are switching things up a little bit. They're going a lot faster than you'd expect. Havoc from Pit, though, he could shut them down if he wanted to, and he helps his buddy out in that. Impaler, though, he is still putting up a fight. He doesn't want his team to get steamrolled. All the terrorists are still close to A. The bomb is in apartments. They're probably going to go for an A play, but they still have a minute to work with, possibly reconsider their plans. The T's have gotten quite close. They're moving up short. They're going to have to deal with Havoc and Zan on opposing angles when they move in. M goes down, and now the rest of the terrorists are also going to be approaching. Impaler, though, all the way on long. He managed to get Hamzas. And now they have to deal with Havoc, who's in pain and has given away his position. This makes it a lot harder for them while he waits for the Fat Rat to rotate from arches. There he is. Now it's a 2 versus 2. It's all up to the terrorists to defend themselves. Lucky scoped in with the op. The Fat Rat is about to walk into his crosshair. Let's see what happens here. Oh, he's gonna get the shot on the elbow. A 1-on-2 Impaler. The focus is on him. Let's see what he can do to Havoc. There it goes. Havoc goes down. And the scoreline is tied up again. The underdogs are really giving My Revenge a run for their money, but is that going to be enough? That's the question. Are they going to be able to do enough damage to take into the second half? And now that the CTs are on an economic setback, this could actually work out for them. The terrorists, they've got really good traction in this half. 5 rounds are not bad. 5 rounds are not bad on Inferno if that's all you get on the T side, because it is a CT-sided map. I mean, they're not optimal, but still, they're quite a bit. And they've already gotten it. They might even be getting the advantage here on this round because the eco from the CTs makes it a lot harder to hold the bomb sites. A 3-and-2 setup from the CTs. 3 players on A, 2 players on B. While the terrorists, they're playing their default setup. They've got 1 player watching mid. They've got 1 player with the bomb all the way back in banana, while 2 players try to take control. The bomb exchanging hands. A very slow round coming in. 50 seconds left on the clock, and no damage has been exchanged except M, who is tagged down to 98 points of health. And that is not good news for the terrorists, because the sooner they get control of the bomb sites, the better it is for them. And now it looks like they're going for a decisive B push. Scar losing a bit of his HP. Was that team damage? Oh, that is unlucky. The Fat Rat has taken down Scar. Impaler, it's all down to you, buddy, to try to make something happen here. And it all boils down to a 3 versus 3. Definitely still a doable situation for the CTs if they can just get their shots right, if they can land it. They're wasting a lot of time right now. The CTs, they're taking way too long to move in. Lucky gets the first flick, not able to connect the second because his scope had barely opened. The bomb is in a really good position for the T's to defend, and with the first player from the CT side being taken down, they can easily just shut him. The terrorists actually getting the advantage, not something that I expected from the underdogs, especially after they lost with that initial round lead on Mirage. I was expecting them to put up less of a fight against My Revenge, because I think, well, don't quote me on this, but I feel like there's a bit more individual skill on the CT side. And My Revenge has been playing together for a longer time, I believe. Barely anything for the CTs to work with. They just have an AWP on Roger. While the terrorist side, they've got guns blazing. They've got an AWP on the Lucky and 4 AK-47s. If the T's can just play their cards right, this should be a cleanup. But that's what Counter-Strike is about, knowing how to play your cards right. Just look at the positioning here from the CT side. This could be deadly if they walk into this trap. There's a stack going on, and they've got a couple upgraded pistols as well. Roger gets the first kill onto M. That leaves 4 terrorists. Let's see if they can damage them with the stack. I mean, they don't have anything to work with, but still. Havoc with his P250 and his armor. If he can just hold it long enough. Oh no, he's going to be knocked out of his position because of the Molotov. Lucky, first opening in the side. Gets a second one as well. Quick flicks of the wrist. Misses the third shot though, but follows it up with his P250. Good stuff from him, and the bomb will finally go down with 30 seconds on the clock. Roger moving in for the retake. Scoped in with the AWP, and there's going to be another smoke to impede his progress. Oh, Impaler's nade. This could be deadly for Roger. He gets tagged down to 26 points of health. Is he going to be able to go for the retake? Not anymore, I believe, as he doesn't have a kit or anything else to work with. Look at his HP. He doesn't have a kit. He doesn't have time. He's smoked out. All of that stuff. And with opposing angles to try to fight with, there is no way he's going for the retake, especially when it is a much better idea to save the AWP, try to get some damage going in the second round, in the next round.
Terrorists win.
Looking at the buys here, the T side, they're fully kitted out, while the CT side, I mean, they are going to have a lot of weaponry, but they're going to be compromising on a bit of utility. They're not going to have all the flashbangs that they want. They're going to be missing a couple of mollies. But let's just see how this unfolds. Zan with the FAMAS wasn't able to completely buy up. Very unfortunate for him indeed. Impaler, though, he spots Roger on the early second mid aggression. And this puts the underdogs in a really good position to start off the fights, but Hamza's taking down Scar. This still is an advantage for the T side, though, because having less numbers makes it better for your team. If you're on the terrorist side. I mean, if you're 4-4, for example, the terrorist side is going to have an advantage. That's what I meant to say. For a second there, it sounded like I said that having dead players would actually give you a benefit, which would be dumb. a 4-on-3, the CT side. Hamza's barely has any health, but there is still a man advantage, and we've seen in this tournament how deadly people can be with barely any HP. Banana control being taken by a couple players from the T side. The third one following suit. The smoke rolls out. CT side is smoked off. 2 players on A from the CT side and 2 players on B. The terrorists only have to deal with the 2 on B. Oh my god, this boost from the Fat Rat. Incredible stuff. But now both the players on the CT side have been taken apart. This just leaves Lucky in a 1 versus 2. He already has a kill under his belt. Can he get the 3k clutch? He does have an AWP though to complement his low HP, which is the weapon of choice that you'd want if you're playing with low HP. This is going to be quite tricky. They're expecting a banana plant though. They're searching all of banana. They don't know where he is. They're going to be smoking off the bomb and going for a play. Lucky playing from construction. I'm not sure if they're still defending banana, but oh, Lucky was not so fortunate this time around. Spamming through the smoke didn't work for him, and that's why, ladies and gentlemen, you should remember where exactly where you plant the bomb. Moving into the 14th round, ladies and gentlemen, we're 1 round away from seeing the end of the half. I'm really curious to see if the underdogs can actually take this. Looking at the CT side setup, they've got 3 players for the aggression on banana, and that is going to work out for them. And like I said before, when you're playing Inferno, you need to get that early aggression from the CT side. You need to push banana hard and fast, and the simple reasoning for that is if the terrorists can get control of banana, they can beat you in the aim duels. It's not so easy to defend bomb side B if you're playing from the side, or if you're playing behind the fountain, if you're playing from construction. But if you just nip the aggression in the bud by just taking control of banana, that makes your life a lot easier, and it's easier to do for 2 players as well. Looks like the terrorists are rolling into bomb site A now though. Zan, he's left alone. He's the sole defender here on the bomb side, but Lucky will be taking his head apart. 4-on-2, the Fat Rat and Hamzas, they have to try to go in for the retake, and that early banana aggression, that was good, but after that, they weren't able to do much damage. They only got 1 player out, and that was M. The Fat Rat, last man standing. He's going to be saving his M4, and surprisingly, the underdogs might be will absolutely be taking this half away with a round lead. This half will be ending 8-7, or even worse, it could potentially end with a 9-6, which puts My Revenge in a position where they might actually be going to map 3, because if you win the first couple, if you win the pistol round after that, it's pretty much over for them. They can chain together 3 rounds. That brings it down to 12-6, and from that point going forward, a comeback is pretty difficult, as you're only 4 rounds away from the win, and you're going to be on the disadvantageous side. Looking at the buys here, because of the disaster that the last round was, and the fact that they haven't been chaining together many rounds, as you can tell by the scoreboard, the first 3 rounds because of the pistol round, and then 3 retakes, they haven't been performing too well on the CT side. And on the other hand, the terrorists have been taking this by storm. They've got plenty of money to work with, but the CT side, they're desperate for money. They've got 3 M4s and 2 upgraded pistols. Meanwhile, the terrorists have been given easy control of banana, and that is not looking good for them. Like I said, the CT, they need to get their banana control in order. That might be the reason that they're losing. And now the execute is about to happen on bomb site B. The mollies roll out, the smokes roll out, everything is underway, the movement. And this is where the action happens. Zan being knocked out of his position. No longer in dark, and he gets taken down by Lucky, who also gets a second kill onto Roger. 2 versus 4. Hamzus and Havoc left alone. And this looks like it's going to be a 9-6. This is almost impossible to retake. Havoc, with just a deagle to work with, he's going to be able to salvage an AWP. Can he get the retake? It would have to be a 1 versus 4 clutch and retake. Pretty much an impossibility. Was that a fake flashbang? Does that even work in 2018 anymore? Like I said, this was for the worse. 9-6 is the scoreline, and the underdogs are actually putting up a really good fight. Team My Revenge, they really need to watch their backs. This could be going to map 3, and the underdogs might actually win the game. Looking at the pistol round now, ladies and gentlemen, we're in the second half of the second map of the second game. That was a mouthful. And now we're seeing the terrorists show a lot of aggression here on B. Zan, first one in. None of the CTs have lost their life yet. Well, I spoke too soon. 3 of them have, as M and Sharoz are left all alone. They have to try to clutch this. And it looks like My Revenge are going to be putting up a fight now. They're on the T side. They played that pistol round beautifully. They were not missing any shots. They had everything in order. And I feel like a lot of Pakistani teams actually have very weak CT sides on Inferno, because this is one of the maps where the CT side is actually tricky. If you look at the maps, I'd say that Dust 2 has a pretty easy CT side in the sense that it's pretty straightforward to play. Like, it's very obvious what you have to do. You just have to get your shots right. And on Mirage, it's quite obvious as well. You just have to make sure that the T side don't get much mid control, and you can just play from few cheeky positions. But on the CT side on Inferno, it's a lot about reading the enemy team. You have to expect the banana aggression. You have to expect the nades. You have to make sure that you can punish players that are lurking in apartments. You have to make sure that you don't get caught out by the fake because of the extremely long rotation times. And that's just how the dynamic of the game works. Now we're looking at the second round of the second half. The terrorists finally able to buy up weapons, and this is going to be a lot. This is going to be one round after a very, very long time where we actually see them with the weaponry advantage, because they were getting destroyed in the previous half, except the first 3 rounds. The terrorists, though, they don't want to give up control easily. They don't want to give up this lead. They're playing their cards very slowly. They want to make sure that they don't get punished by a stack. But Sharoz, he's going to be shining with the deagle, taking Zan's head home, mounting it on a pike as if he's just a trophy. 5-on-4. The CTs have secured the advantage. Let's see if the terrorists are going to be hindered by that at all, if that's going to impact their round progress. They should be able to take this comfortably, though. They're up against players that are very weak, but they do have upgraded pistols. If Roger doesn't manage to get Sharoz, that would have been over. Everything quickly boils down to a 2 versus 3. Scar, being very deadly with his 5-7, managed to take 2 players home. Impaler, though, a 1 versus 2 now. Can he get the retake clutch? This is quite difficult for him, but he does have a CZ75, which is notorious for being an annoying weapon for everybody. Impaler finally taking a fight, but he gets taken down by Roger, who has sneaked up behind him. 9-8 is the scoreline, and the counter-terrorists, they're still not able to buy anything, so this should be a pure eco. No buys being made here, unless one of the CTs that has more than $2,000 decides to go for an upgraded pistol, but I don't think that's going to be the case, because you still want that utility in the next round. You might as well save your $500 and invest it in a smoke or a flashbang in the next round. second mid control being taken by the terrorists. They're slowly moving up mid. And this is going to work out for them beautifully, and that is because all of the CTs are on B. This is disastrous for the CTs. They can't even really put up much of a fight, but at least that gives them the opportunity to try to go for exit frags or stop them from getting out of the bomb site, so they just explode with the bomb. And the terrorists know for a fact now that it was a stack, and they're going to be getting in positions to punish the CTs that try to go for the retake. And at this point, it is very obvious that the CTs can't do anything. I mean, they've got USBs. This should be a steamroll. The Fat Rat takes down Lucky. And I feel like I don't need to spell out what's going to happen in the rest of the round. Perhaps a few exit frags, but that's about it.
Terrorists win.
9-9, and the scoreline is tied as Team My Revenge bring themselves back in the game. They don't want to go home without a fight. They don't want to go to map 3. They don't want to give up a free map. And they want to show the underdogs that their efforts were useless. I mean, the last game's scoreline was pretty close, so I'm obviously expecting the underdogs to potentially win this game, but My Revenge is looking like the stronger team, despite the fact that they had a very shaky half at first. Looking at the buys here, they've got 5 M4s up against 4 rifles in the form of AK-47s and a single SMG in the hands of Havoc. Not exactly sure why he didn't buy up properly, but perhaps he's just saving some money for the AWP. They've got in control of apartments. Now they know for a fact the CTs must be in the bomb sites or playing from those kinds of positions. The smoke to protect Roger from shelter and under shelter. I think the terrorists are quite indecisive about what they want to do right now, because the bomb is dropped all the way in team mid. And they just want to get control of a bomb site before they actually bring the bomb like a little baby. Impaler takes down Roger and gets the advantage for the CT side, but the bomb still hasn't been seen, so the CT side, they're holding their horses. They're not going for any rotations. They're taking a chill. They want to make sure that they have all the information that they need before they rotate. A rule of thumb is that you shouldn't rotate until you see the bomb, because a lot of teams do fakes, and that is one of the most basic strategies that you can do in Counter-Strike. It looks like the rush is about to happen now. Zan moves in. Hamza and Zan, they've already gotten a couple kills for themselves, but he is destroying them. Gets a couple kills. And now it's all down to Hamza's, who has to try to take down Charoz and Lucky with no HP to work with. He doesn't have the bomb. There's 12 seconds on the clock. Pretty much an impossibility here. It looks like we're seeing the underdogs take the lead yet again. I mean, this looks like a recurring theme at this point. Team My Revenge, they win the pistol round and then they get shut down in the rest of the rounds. Could we see that happen again? I really needed that stretch. I've been casting this game for quite a bit, and I cast it in the morning as well. So, the scoreline's 10-9. The underdogs actually leading, surprisingly, because I'm pretty sure that all the bets were on My Revenge. Of course, I'm talking about figurative bets, because betting is no longer even possible on CSGO. Unless you do real money betting, I guess, but that's completely different. The terrorists are moving into A. Charoz has taken down Roger. The Fat Red gets punished for jumping in the middle of a rush. Now it's all down to Zayn, Hamzis, and Havoc, who have 3 AK-47s. They've got the bomb all the way on team mid. They're pretty indecisive about what they're going to do. They've got one player harassing the CTs all the way on B. But I think he might be taken down very soon because he has to fight with 2 players. The double P could end his life right there. Zan, and Havoc. They're not making any moves as of yet. 20 seconds on the clock. This is going to be very difficult for them, but at least the saving grace is the fact that there's just one low HP player on bomb side B, and Lucky has spotted them now. He's going to be calling in the rotations, and that's exactly what the CTs are doing. They're moving in. They know for a fact now that the bomb is on B. The bomb surprisingly goes down, at least that nets to my Revenge some money. And now the underdogs are moving in. Zan takes down Scar. That leaves Havoc in a 1 versus 3. Can he make this happen? Could this be the 1 versus 3 clutch? Ladies and gentlemen, let's see Havoc's perspective here. Nope, not gonna happen. Gets shut down by M, who brings it to 11-9 on the board for the CT side. Great stuff from the underdogs, as they're proving everybody in the chat wrong. A lot of people were talking a lot of smack, and I guess they're proven wrong now. Looks like we're seeing a pause now, and I just bumped into the microphone with my head. My bad. And there's the unpause as well, and for a second there I thought I'd actually get the chance to stretch. Time to recline in my chair. I've been streaming and casting from Mythica's setup since I've been staying at her place, and it honestly feels like I'm gonna die every time I try to recline in her chair. It feels like I'm just gonna fall and break my back. But getting back into the game, the terrorists, they've taken control of Banana. The CTs are forced to back off, even though they've done quite a bit of damage here on Hamzus and the Fat Rat specifically. 60 and 47 points of health left respectively, and now it's just gonna be a mow down. Oh, not gonna be the case, because Lucky was actually flashed out of his mind. The Fat Rat has gotten a kill. This is a 4 versus 4, but with not much weaponry to work with. This is going to be pretty difficult for the CTs. He gets another kill for himself. And now Saul down to a 2 versus 2. Havoc picks up an AK-47, gets a second kill. It's a 1 versus 1 Havoc. You have to do it this time, buddy. The previous round was a 1 versus 3. All you have to do now is get the 1 versus 1. M has faked him out. Havoc's probably going to go for the spray, and he spots him. What a play there by M. And wow, this guy has been playing quite well in the second map. He wasn't really stepping up to the plate in the first map, but things have changed a bit. Things have changed. Looks like we're seeing another pause, and that is going to be very useful if they want to stop it from going to map number 3. And until then, I'm going to take a break and recline in this chair without... Well, I'm going to recline in this chair and hope that I don't die. There we go, the unpause has been called, and I am back. Let's look at the buys here. An AWP on the CT side with no AWP being spotted on the T side. 5 AK-47s and plenty of utility all across the board. Everybody has all the utility that they could possibly need. The CTs, surprisingly, they go for a few Molotovs at the very start of the round, but they don't really try to capitalize off of it. They don't do a double molly. They don't try to get control up until tree. They don't do any of that. The terrorists can just wait, and they come back to Banana, and that still gives a Banana control, so I don't exactly know what's going on with the CT. They should go for a deep molly to try to sandwich the CTs, or go for a double molly that really sandwiches them from both sides. And judging by their positions, it looks like they've just sent Roger to lurk and try to harass the CT players and make sure that they don't rotate. And that's generally a good idea. If you're going to go for a rush, if you're going to go for a sneaky rush or a sneaky push, you need at least one player to make sure that the rotations aren't called. And now we're looking at the execute happen on B. Everybody's moving in. They still have one player situated on A, so he could go for the backstab. The rotations are being called now. They're going to have 3 CT players to deal with once the rotation is complete. Scar gets the first kill. He's looking for the second. Hamzas gets stagged down as well. Lucky being very good with the AWP there. They all bring it down to a 1 versus 3 though. Sherrose left all alone. The CTs losing the duel, and I think that pause might actually have helped Team My Revenge. They don't have much HP though, so this is definitely doable by Sherrose, especially because of the fact that he has a defuse kit to work with. He just needs to tap the bomb for 5 seconds. That's it. If he can bring it down to a 1 versus 1, he can absolutely get it. But the smoke is the only thing in his way, and the fact that the bomb is ticking down. At this point, all he can hope for is to run away. Oh, he gets spotted, and Roger's going to put a bullet in his head. Not exactly sure what was going through Sherrose's head. I mean, obviously, except the bullet, because he peeked at the very last moment when he could have saved. He could have done a lot of damage. There was no point to try to go for the exit kills, and he still did, and that just cost him an M4. A 3-2 setup being played by the CT side. 2 players close to Banana, 1 in construction, and 2 players playing from pit and apartments. A very slow round coming in. They've got the terrorists have 1 player that is making sure the rotation doesn't happen on B. He's harassing the CTs, and that's going to work out because this gives the rest of the terrorists, the rest of the 4 terrorists, enough time to go all the way back to A, while he's just meddling with the rest of the CT, with the rest of the CTs all the way on B. Everything boiling down to 2 versus 3. Sherrose and Impaler are left with AK-47s that they've managed to salvage. But not for long, as a Fat Rat takes off the head of Sherrose. That just leaves 1 CT all the way on B. And it would be a good idea by the Impaler to just hold on to that AK. They don't have much money to work with. Might as well use that AK-47 again. And if you're on the CT side and you're going for an upgraded pistol setup, it's a really good idea to have 1 guy with a rifle that he saves, especially because that's going to make the T's think that they have rifles up against him. I mean, even if they know for a fact that you don't have much money and you just have 1 rifle and that player is being rotated around the map, they're still going to have to be careful about the way they play because they don't want to be in the crosshairs of the guy that has the rifle. That sort of makes them stop and think for a bit. You don't want them just rushing your players that don't have anything in their hands. So anyway, the scoreline's 12-11, and My Revenge are slowly inching back. Just 1 200 IQ nade could take them out. Oh, they all survive in the corner. Zan almost died there actually, because he tried to get on top, and for a second there he slipped and fell. Moving into round 24, the CTs still have nothing to work with. A few sets of Kevlar, a few upgraded pistols, and an AK-47 on Impaler, who has also bought Kevlar. So this is obviously doable for the CTs if they can just play their cards right, but the advantage goes to the terrorists. They can push in anywhere, and they can be sure that they're probably going to have the advantage in the aim duels. They just need to make sure they don't do anything stupid, and the round is all theirs for the taking. A 2-and-3 setup from CT side. 3 players playing on B. They're not really so keen on going A. M, though, he's done a lot of damage already. Roger has lost the AK-47, and that AK might actually be salvaged, though. Lucky, he gets a shot with a deagle. He's looking for more action. Hams is waiting for him this time around. The shoulder peek is not going to come in, though. Lucky knows for a fact that he shouldn't be testing his luck if he has it. The Fat Rat, though, bringing the numbers a lot closer as he takes apart the head of M. Could Lucky actually get another shot? Insane stuff as he gets another deagle shot. Could he take down Hams as well? What was that play? Lucky, what are you doing, man? Insane stuff with the deagle, completely switching the round around. That was... I don't know what to say about that. Lucky pretty much carried that round, and now the CT side, they're in a really good spot. Team My Revenge, they've messed it up. They could have brought it to the tie, and now it's all down to a 1 versus 2. The Fat Rat doesn't even have any time to work with. Is he going to have enough time to go for the bomb plant? He takes down Impaler. Is he going to go for the fight? Lucky, now he knows for a fact that the Fat Rat is going for the plant, and he takes him down. He did have the time for the plant, but Lucky peaks soon enough to take him down. 4 kills on the board for him for this round. And I'm honestly very impressed by the way Lucky played it there. His aim was on point. He just carried his team. He made sure that the terrorists would just... that the terrorists would get shut down. This changes things a lot because this potentially makes it that My Revenge would be going to map number 3. That is something that they want to stay away from. I mean, if you're going for the 1-0 lead, might as well make it 2-0 and head home. Looking at round number 25, ladies and gentlemen, the terrorist side, they were denied their tie just now, and the CT side are suddenly doing a double Molotov setup that I was suggesting. Good stuff from them. Scar has been tagged down to 20 points of health, though, and in exchange the terrorists, Hamza's, he has 46 HP as well. The terrorists have no clue where they're gonna be going right now because the bomb is all the way back. It's in T mid, but I think they're going for a B play because they've got 3 players already all the way over there. And a recurring pattern that I've seen on the T side is the fact that the terrorists actually send one player on. Mid, or just send him on A. Try to harass the CTs while everybody else executes on B. That is something that has been very common from the T side. And that's exactly what they're doing. The same setup again. Lucky gets the op shot. Is he still going to be carrying his team late into the game? He is sandwiched from all sides now. He is still trying to make something happen. Not going to be able to connect the 3rd shot, though. Lucky has done enough damage, though. This puts his team in a position where they can go for the retake. Scar is arguably not too healthy right now. 20 HP left. It's going to be very difficult for him to do any damage. But still, a player is a player. Zan takes down Cheroz, and this makes the CT's retake pretty much impossible. Scar is going to be backing off. He knows that 20 HP is not enough. And there it is. That's a round for the terrorist side. Surprisingly, because for a second there, I thought they just lost all of their momentum. 13 to 12 is going to be the scoreline, still in the favor of the underdogs. But I'm surprised by how My Revenge is stepping up now. For a second there, I really thought that they had lost their grip on the game, especially after they got shut down by Lucky. That is enough to break your momentum, set you back 1,000 years. The score line is 13 to 12. The CTs, like I said, still on the advantage, but they don't have that much money to work with. A couple of FAMASas as well, because they need to buy some utility. You can't just focus on just a rifle, just the better weapons. And I do realize that some of you might be experiencing some viewing issues. You might be looking at some stutters. And that's something that I really can't do anything about right now. We're going to have to wait for the next map, if there is one, to fix this. So my apologies on behalf of Gamebird. I believe there was a problem on OBS before, and hopefully that's not going to be the case anymore. The stream is back up, ladies and gentlemen. No more lag, nothing of that sort anymore. Oh, I can see the comments right now. I mean, Lucky is getting a lot of praise. But just a word of advice, buddy. Lucky, if you're watching this, like, just looking at your replay, just name yourself something other than Lucky, because you don't want people attributing your skill to luck. (14-13). This is the CT's final chance to stop the game where it is, prevent it from going to map number 3. Sorry, actually take it to map number 3. This is where My Revenge have to make sure that it doesn't go to map 3, while the underdogs, they have to force it there, or they have no chance anymore. All rifles on both of the sides. This is the gun round that we were waiting for. Plenty of utility on both sides as well. Not many Molotovs on the CTs, though. That's going to make it difficult to hold the late round pushes. The terrorists making their way towards Banana. They've already gotten control of it. They've spotted Lucky. Surprisingly, the bomb is the first one in. They've gotten control now. Zan takes down Scar. Lucky with a flashbang moves in. Gets taken down, though. It's not going to happen today, buddy. The Fat Rat has denied you. A 3 versus 5 retake. This is looking next to impossible. I'm pretty sure they're going to go for the save because they want to take it to the match point and tie it there. Try to go for the overtime. If they give up their weaponry right now, they have no chance in the next round, and that just ends their tournament life right there. The best play to do right now would just be to save their rifles and try again in the next round. That way, at least they can take it to overtime.
Terrorists win.
15-13, ladies and gentlemen. We might be seeing the end of the underdogs, or we're seeing an upset. I don't know what's going to happen. Team My Revenge. Let's see what it'll be. The CT side, they have the golden chance to take it at map number 3. This is it, boys. You saved your weapons. Now put them to good use. The terrorists, they're going for their bread and butter setup. That is pretty much what they do on every time they're second guessing themselves. They send one player all the way on A. They try to harass the CTs on A. Perhaps cause a bit of a ruckus there to try to hold the rotations. Make sure that some people go away from B. And if there are more players on A, they can just stay there. Oh, Roger sneaking in. I don't think Impaler expects this, but getting on top of there actually gives Impaler the advantage because Roger was spotted. And the CTs are actually doing a pretty good job of holding so far. Even with worse weaponry, the Molotovs, the smokes, everything is making the CT's life so much harder. But the CTs know this time around what the strategy is. They've gotten only 2 players on A. And now the action is about to happen. The players moving into bomb site B. Just 2 players left on the T side. Make that 1. Make that 0 as Zen gets taken down. Just 1 round away from the tie, and we're going to be seeing an overtime. Once again, all rifles all across the board. Impaler's the only one that has an M4. He's not invited to the AK-47 party. Hamza secures the first kill onto Scar. A bit of GoTV lag there. Hopefully that doesn't really affect the viewing experience. Let's just see what's going on. Give me a second. A 5-on-4. Let's see if the CTs can take it to overtime. This is definitely doable, even though they only have 4 players. Terrorists slowly creeping up banana. The CTs, they've got a 2-and-2 setup now that they've lost a player. They are relying on those aim duels. They have to put those AK-47s to good use. And the T's are playing this very carefully. They know that they don't want to go to map 3. The bomb being rotated all the way back to B. They're leaving a couple players on A though. They want to make sure that there's a player or two for harassment. Make sure that the rotations aren't called. Because the worst situation to be in is to just walk in B and see 4 guns firing at you. And that's why you need a player to make sure that there is no rotation. Oh, look at Roger's position though. He's behind Lucky. He managed to walk all the way to Arches and make a sneaky play there. He knows where Impaler is. The information has been relayed to the rest of his team. He's clearing out every other angle, and this could be a GG for the T side if Impaler doesn't do anything. And he only gets a single kill, so 2 versus 4, or M and Charo is going to be able to get anything. Roger takes him down, and it's all down to M. Is he going to be able to do anything in this 1 versus 4? Not going to be the case. Team My Revenge, with a beautiful comeback there, they manage to end the tournament life of the underdogs. GGWP, go home, ladies and gentlemen. That was the second game of the day, and it's going to be your boy Wild Deity signing off. The scoreline is 2-0, and that's going to be it. Bye-bye.